Today, we're really excited to announce that Natalie Thompson has joined us. Natalie comes with about 15 years of strategic consulting background and a fascinating family history that includes a Duke, which we'll get to in a little bit. So, Natalie, why did you choose to join the circus that we call Phoenix Performance Partners?
Thank you, Brad and Tom. So excited to be joining, with Phoenix Performance Partners. A lot of it is the transformational leadership work that you guys are doing. I have, as you said, 15 years in the consulting and coaching business and working with executives, but I love the work that is specifically focused on transformation. And I believe it's highly needed today and really can uh, help executives not just steward their own resources, but also truly transform their teams and the people they serve.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you, Natalie. It's been awesome to meet you. I think we met maybe about a year or two ago, and to become friends, and then slowly kind of see if there might be a good fit here. And even how we met is pretty fascinating. That we have a shared friend who's a Nigerian. He actually lives in London now, and yet we met here in Michigan. So super excited to have you join the team. Amber is especially excited because she's sick of dealing with all of us men. So it's great to have another female on the team, and especially one with your unbelievable experience and background and expertise in international work. And so, why don't you tell a little bit to the audience and to those clients of ours out there, what is your background? What would you like to share with them about that?
Sure. So my background is international relations, and I worked in a variety of industries from corporate finance in London to higher education at Duke to consulting in DC. And so I think something that just working in all these industries gives you is a new perspective, and to be able to delve into different industries and understand what executives are facing. And then the coaching element, which I fell into a long time ago, just you know just working with leaders to understand themselves better. And as you all have the transformational leadership experience and are have a whole proprietary way of doing it is fascinating to me. And I'm excited to bring my experience and background to the table, but also to learn more and grow with the team.
And Natalie, it strikes me that you have a fascinating family background as well that has really like informed you and given you a rich experience out of the gate. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So you probably noticed my maiden name has an unusual spelling and ring to it, Dobermont. So that is Duke of Obermont. That comes from an area of, everyone thinks it's French, but it's actually Belgian. And where that is my great grandfather. Then there's a German part too. I grew up with two last names. And great grandfather was part of the team that invented the trolley system in Germany. So huge estate, very wealthy family. My grandfather was a philosopher, professor at the University of Vienna. And all this when World War II was breaking out and starting, and the Nazi Party was rising to power. My grandfather was one of they solicited the family for financial reasons. And my grandfather was very strongly opposed, spoke out, wrote against it to the point that he was put in prison. He actually then escaped to Belgium to try to get into the US. US had closed doors at that time to people coming from Germany, so he immigrated to Buenos Aires. So immigration has been a part of my family history because after that, my parents in the 1970s immigrated from Argentina to the US. So all that to say is, I think I've spoken to both of you about the concept of redemptive imagination, redemptive entrepreneurship, and I see that really tied into my family history. That despite difficulties and just forces acting against, that you have agency, that you can speak up against. You have to stand up for what you believe in. You have to speak up against against basically what was evil, you know, and then also the realities of my parents' immigration from Argentina to the US, like different economic forces. And that was the same thing in Argentina. There was a dictatorship that was going on. And, you know, there was just issues of how can you, you know, move forward and live your life. So all that to say is, things are not lost, even though when they seem they are. And the redemptive part is what good comes out of that. And the good that has come out of that is that the heritage of, you know, living out your values and always speaking up for what is right and looking for ways to improve your corner of the world. So.
Yeah, which is a fascinating tie-in to this week's newsletter, where we talk about, you know, how leadership and language are so intimately related that if you want to change your culture, you got to change your language, because your language is ultimately a manifestation of your courage. And that if you want to do what's right, if you want to be mission focused, you want to live your values, then your language is going to follow suit. And clearly, your grandparents, great grandparents were people of deep integrity. And so, for those of you listening right now, be sure to check out the rest of the newsletter below, where we get into more about that and the power of language. So we're super excited to have you join the board, join the team, like we said, and you're going to help us with our world domination tour of serving more clients in the United States, hopefully outside of the United States. But before we wrap up here, we'd love to hear more about you personally. I know you read more books in a year than probably Brad and I do in a decade, but maybe talk a little bit about that. Talk a little bit about your amazing husband and family.
Sure. So married to David for about 22 years now, and we have 3 wonderful children. They are 15, 13, and 10. So they keep us on our toes with all their activities and interests. And we live outside of the Ann Arbor, Michigan area. We moved here about 12 years ago, and involved in our community and our church. And yes, I love to read and to travel. And I recently just published a book. I was a collaborative author of a new book all about visioning and setting intentions for the new year.
Awesome. Well, it wouldn't be a video without a plug. So what's the name of the book and where can people find it, Natalie?
Sure. It's called A Peaceful New Year. You can find it on Amazon.com. And yes, very excited about it.
So I'm sure that you can all see why we're excited to have Natalie join us, and I hope you'll join us in welcoming her to the team.
Awesome. Thanks, Natalie. We're super excited for the year and looking forward to all that 2025 and beyond has in store for us. And we wish you all a wonderful rest of your week.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.